Hello, welcome to this Expert Talk Show, episode number 108. And today's session is on the navigating career challenges and emerging stronger than ever before. And I am thrilled to see you, so many of you joining us today as we embark on a journey of resilience, growth, and empowerment with our esteemed speaker Ruchika Hasija. So let us welcome our expert of the day. Yes, Ruchika, welcome on the show.
Thanks, Vipul. It's an honor to be here.
It's our privilege to have you here. Thank you for accepting our invitation and joining us on this evening on this expert talk show. And I'm sure we will have so much of your insightful knowledge and experience, which will be helpful to our audience. So, thank you once again.
My pleasure.
So, audience, let me start the session. Before that, I would like to show us your presence. Type in hi, hello, good evening. Show us your presence. Let us welcome our expert of the day, Ruchika, and let us start the session. So, yes, I am your host for the day, Vipul Amali, the founder of Post Resume HR Consultancy. We specializes in providing corporate clients with top talent solutions across India and Africa, particularly for middle to senior management positions in industries such as IT, engineering, manufacturing, pharmaceuticals, and textiles. Additionally, we offer assistance to job seekers through career coaching, resume writing, LinkedIn profile optimization, and career transition services. So, we have the privilege of hearing from Ruchika Hasija. She is a self-regulation coach, host of podcast Urge to Surge, and upcoming author of books Surge. Additionally, she is mental health advocate and AWS engineer. She holds accreditations as an ICF-accredited certified NLP practitioner and coach and CTA certified professional coach. Furthermore, she is certified as CTA certified timeline practitioner, CTA certified NLP practitioner, and ABNLP certified NLP practitioners. That's amazing, Ruchika. You are doing so many things, and that's really inspiring to a lot of us. Uh, and as we gather here today, let's embark the power of vulnerability, resilience, and the human spirit. Let us open our heart and minds to the possibilities of transformation, knowing that even in our darkest moment, there is light waiting to be discovered. So sit back, relax, and get ready to be inspired. Without further delay, I uh, invite once again our esteemed speaker, Ruchika. Thank you for joining us today once again, and for thanking you for sharing your wisdom with all of us. So, stage is all yours, Ruchika. Please tell us more about you and something about today's topic to start the questions with. And before that, audience, you can definitely check Ruchika's LinkedIn profile. You can connect with her. You can DM her if you have any further queries. Then she'll be happy to connect with you. She'll be happy to help you. So do check Ruchika's profile and do connect with her also. So Ruchika, please tell us something more about you. And yeah, over to you, Ruchika.
Thanks, Vipul, first of all, for the warm welcome and good evening to the audience. So, as you have already introduced, to further add on, I would say that I coach and guide mid age professionals who are going through emotional turbulence after any setback to positively process and manage their emotions so they can surge instead of hitting rock bottom.
Yeah, that's amazing, Ruchika. So to start with the questions, and before that, I would also request audience. You can also ask your questions if you have any question, if you have any suggestions, or if you have any remark, then definitely type in. Do comment us. We'll be happy to have your inputs. And yeah, so the very first question of the day, could you share your experience of reaching what you considered to be rock bottom and how it impacted your professional journey?
Rock bottom for me was when I was grappling with depression. Everything I used to do became so difficult to proceed with, starting initially from getting up to all the day-to-day tasks. Everything felt insurmountable. Since I could not express what I was feeling, and nobody in my family was aware of what I was going through. I was not able to process any information, and social interactions became very difficult. I realized at that time that I had forgotten things I had been doing for years. Getting to sleep became difficult, and due to this, many health issues arose. It was as if I was mentally exhausted and drained, as if I had no mental energy left to do any task, and I had no idea how to resolve this. And whatever effort I was putting in to get out of that state of mind, it seemed futile. Every effort I was making seemed no effort at all because I was still at the same place. I felt like the whole world inside me had been turned upside down. I was living hour by hour because I didn't know what battle the next hour would bring me in. So, and the time at actually at that time I was looking for a place to escape from my mind. But in idle ways, there is no place where we can escape from our mind. So that was the rock bottom for me. And answering the other part of the question on how it impacted my professional journey. So I would say that since my cognitive functionalities were not supporting me, so every task that I used to do previously, which used to take me 10 minutes, now started taking an hour because I was unsure how to proceed and how to process. As a result, I had to put in a lot of extra mental effort to get the same task done. The constant thought that came to me during that time was I have been doing this for years. What happened? Why can't I do it now? And this definitely impacted my confidence. Another thing that was affected was networking. Since I was not in the right state of mind, I used to avoid all kind of interactions and socializations. So it really impacts. In actual, it impacts all areas of your life, but cognitive functionality it impacted a lot of my confidence.
Yeah, so well answered, and that's a really inspiring one, Ruchika. So thank you for answering it. And it takes a lot of courage and guts to say that I was in that stage of my life, because nobody dares to confess that. So that requires guts, that shows you have overcome that. That's really good. So, in what ways did the repercussions on your career impacted on your psychologically? Mhm.
As I mentioned previously as well, my confidence was greatly impacted because I couldn't understand what was happening. The recurring question in my mind was why I couldn't perform tasks that I had done for so many years, or why they were suddenly taking so much of time. I even forgot how to, I even forgot how to open a Google Chrome or the software that I was using or handling at my work for years. And all these experiences were diminishing my confidence day by day. It was, in fact, impacting my self image because cognitive functionalities, like the way, if they are not functioning properly, you feel at some point helpless and dependent.
Very well said. That's really true. So, yes, audience, you can ask your questions. You can appreciate the session. Thank you for appreciation. And yeah, Subransu, thank you for asking the question. But that is something not relevant to today's topic. So you can DM me, or you can DM Ruchika for that question. We will definitely try to cover that in a one on one. So please connect with any of us and get your answer. But that is not relevant to today's topic. So moving on to the next question, Ruchika. The question is, what were the most significant challenges you faced during that phase?
I would say that every aspect presented during that time was a challenge, but I would like to highlight a few things here. The most significant challenge was enduring the pain of that state of mind because it was hard and I had no idea how to resolve it. The other challenge was my cognitive functionalities. I was not able to focus, concentrate, or think clearly. Memory itself was a significant issue. It took a lot of time for me to even make smaller decisions, and I was unable to process things or remember them. This, as I mentioned, like this made me helpless and dependent in quite some places, and it was impacting my confidence and self image. And the other challenge that I faced was socialization. So, speaking to people and acting normal, that was a battle. I used to avoid all kinds of social gatherings, not because I wanted to, but because I was not able to. I don't know why. There was a constant struggle in my mind. Even if I tried socializing, it was hard to speak to people at that time, to behave normal when I knew something was going on in the back of my mind. So I think these three were the significant challenges that were impacting a lot during that phase.
Okay, well explained. What strategies did you use to regain confidence in your professional abilities and to overcome the three challenges which you have faced? So, one add-on question to that. Yeah. So, please, if you can answer that.
Since I was not aware that I was struggling with depression, first thing, it was difficult to accept it when I began to emerge from it. So, the first thing I did was acknowledge and accept that I faced a mental health challenge and stop judging myself for some time. I understood that the cognitive issues I was experiencing were due to the challenge that I faced. And then I started addressing the issues I was facing one by one, whether it was improving the focus or the communication or socialization, networking. So I addressed them one by one. And then to add on further, I started having small achievable goals. I built small achievable goals each day to rebuild my confidence gradually. And in I would say in my official work, I started preparing notes for even the smallest tasks since I was not able to remember things. So, what I did is I started preparing notes for even the smallest to smallest tasks, which which I never had to prepare earlier, but I started doing that so that I don't have to ask for some things repeatedly to anyone. So and I spent extra time on each and every task, no matter how small that was. Further, I started learning new skills that were relevant to my field, which were somewhere helping me to improve my cognitive functionality. This I did it just as to improve my skills, but it were actually helping me to improve the cognitive functionalities, which I got to know later on that learning the new skills at that time can help as well for improving the cognitive functionalities. Yeah, that's pretty this one I did at that time, which I'm able to recall right now.
Great. Great, great. Well answered, and thank you for explaining this. Yeah, uh, audience, definitely you can ask your questions. You can add up on your questions. Thank you, uh, Gulirmo, for the appreciations. Thank you for joining in. And moving on to the next question, uh, how did you maintain motivation and optimism during the process of really rebuilding your career?
I found several strategies that helped me and worked for me during that phase was, which I refer to as a mental diet. So, first thing, I was very cautious about what I was watching or consuming digitally, what I was reading, whom I followed, whom I spent time with, and what I was eating. I avoided anything to everything that could impact me negatively during that time, because I was in a constant mental struggle and I couldn't take neither further judgments and neither more negativity. So I avoided each and everything that could hamper me to get out of that state of mind. So first, and then additionally, I was also doing the meditation and yoga, which was also helping me to recover my physical health as well. So I think and I was also going through a lot of inspirational stuff, because that were helping me to move in a positive direction instead of consuming the negative sides of negative digital content. I was consuming only the inspirational content, no TV, no news, only either the inspirational content or whatever I wanted to improve in my skills. Yeah.
Great, well answered. So meditation and yoga plays a very positive role in all this mental health, or even for everyone. I believe that yoga and meditation plays a very positive role in overall health building. And yeah, thank you Anjali Upadhyay for joining us today also, and thank you for the appreciation. So the next question is, how has this setbacks shaped your work style?
Actually, it has changed many aspects of my working style, which I got to know now, because I was not aware that depression, at some sense, even changes the way you work. So, to highlight that, few would be, I am right now very cautious about the task on which I spend my mental energy. If even in the official task, if there is more percentage of tasks that are not leading me towards growth, I generally prefer not to take that. If there are tasks that I need to do on daily or weekly basis, I generally, even if I have to do, even it's reporting or anything, I generally try to automate that. So I don't I try to spend my mental energy only where the new task where it is required. Other thing is, though there is always a scope of improvement, but I think this setback has made me comparatively more organized. And the third thing I would say is, I have now set up it. Previously, it was very difficult for me to set up boundaries in terms of work, people, and environment. But right now, I'm very clear what people I need to work with, what work I have to work on, and which environment I am okay to work in. So if anything that goes beyond my boundaries, I don't take that, because mental health is one thing which we only have to face. So I don't accept any of the toxic work culture or work that is not leading me towards growth.
Great, well answered. So yeah, thank you for Guillermo for the appreciation. How you are and adding upon that, how interesting what you said, Ruchika. All of us who are in sea level has to had to go through this process. Thank you for your words. So thank you for your words. In fact, Guillermo, we appreciate it. And yeah, audience, you can ask your questions, you can add your inputs, how Guillermo, Mr. Cariso has had it. So you can also add your remarks, your reviews. We would love to have them. So Ruchika, how as you said, the word toxic workplace. So how you can stay away from that toxic workplace, or how we can smell that this is something toxic workplace, or this is something, many times we feel uh, so good, but behind the curtain there is a toxic environment, or there is something which is not good for your future. So how we can judge that, and how we can get out from there, or how we can stay away from there?
Very good question, Vipul. So, what I would say is, if it's a toxic work culture, it is a possibility you might not be able to know it at the first sight. It is once you go into that environment, only then you will be able to judge that it is not helping you. It is a toxic work culture. So how can you define the toxic work culture in that sense? Anything that is impacting your mental health. It's not about work pressure. It's not about I would say there are two kinds of stress. One is distress, one is eu stress. The one that is giving you distress unnecessary, that is a toxic work culture, which I define it for me. If I have to grow in a company, if I have to put in more efforts there, then if I am getting stressed because of that, then it is eu stress. I am then it is not a toxic work culture. Okay, toxic work culture, you can have it. Basically it happens because of the people around us. So once you go into that environment, if there is any sort of work which you don't want to work with, but you want again I will divide it into two parts, in people and work. If there are toxic people around you, if you can avoid it in your project or in that particular like work culture, it's good. If you can't, whether they are there, so if they are your supervisor or something, I prefer not to work in that kind of environment. um, like I even prefer to leave that project, or I prefer not to work in that. And if it comes in terms of work, I would say that first decide whether that work is first thing, whether you want to do that work or not. If you want to do that work, in that case, what kind of stress it is giving you, like if it is a eu stress or a distress. If it's a eu stress, you are not in toxic work culture. If it is a distress, you want to do that work, but there are some sort of unnecessary things that are created, then it might be then it can be a issue there. But again, that depends on our judgment there once we go into that environment. And again, here I would like to add on further. It's not always about the people around us. There can be some perceptions which we are taking. Work culture might not be toxic, work might also be good, but sometimes it's about what we want to do and where we want to be at in that particular time at that particular place. So considering both the things, I think then only we can say it as a toxic work culture.
So you have rightly said that it's not always the other side of the table. You need to also see yourself in the mirror, and you need to also see that whether culture is okay, but I am not okay in that environment, or I am not right for that job, or I'm doing something which I don't love to do. That also you need to take care of. So if I'm right, right.
Yeah.
So that's rightly said. So yeah, one of the last and very important question from my end. So what tips would you give someone who need to surge in their career after hitting rock bottom?
So, first of all, I would say that accept and acknowledge the situation without judgment, because it's very difficult. Once you have hit a rock bottom, it's very difficult to accept the situation you are in. So, first of all, accept and acknowledge without judgment, and then connect with your deeper self, dissolve your tough emotions. In other words, I can say that self align, self charge, and self regulate. Even if you have to seek professional help, don't hesitate, because it can save you years. Since I was not aware about it, I can, I would say that if I would have the professional help, it would have saved me many years. So never hesitate to seek professional help. Third, I would say once you are resolved with your emotions or dissolved your emotions, then work towards learning the skill sets that can help you grow in your career. And number fourth, I would say is seek mentorship in your field. Again, because I think that can spare your many years worth of time. And a fifth would be then network with a growth mindset people. So these are five things that I followed, and I think anybody who has hit rock bottom should follow, because if I would have this guidance during that time, I could have saved many years.
Thank you for this amazing tips and advice. I must say it will be useful to many of from our audience. And after, this video, YouTube video will be there forever, so it will be useful to many who will see this after this live session also. So thank you for this amazing uh, real life experience sharing. So I really appreciate that.
You're
So
welcome.
yes, audience, one last call. You can, if you have any question, then you can definitely ask your question. But before that, what is your concluding notes, one your final words for our audience, your any golden advice, or any final concluding notes for our audience?
I would say that take care of your mental health because nobody else can do it for you. Number two, I would say that after hitting rock bottom, even if you move, you can only rise. Only thing is, you need to keep moving in the right direction. And number three is, I would say that keep the urge to search alive within you.
Well answered. So we have one question from Mr. Cariso. Let me show that question to you, and we'll cover that question to conclude the session. So he is asking that, Mr. Cariso is asking that, how do you adapt to different cultures and resistance to change within the organization?
Resistance to change. Can you please elaborate change what?
Resistance to change means, I think he's asking that, if a culture, there will be a different culture, so there'll be a cultural gap, and how we can adjust to that, adapt to that.
I would say that this is bit different related to what we are speaking. But to answer this, when we are saying that to adapt to different cultures, I think we should be respecting every culture. And when we are respecting every culture, we will be able to adapt it because the other person is also adapting to our culture. So I would say that respect every culture, and then other people will be able to adapt yours as well. And resistance to change within the organization. Again, if it is with respect to culture, or if it is like if a person can speak by himself related to resistance, that would be, I will be able to answer that in a better way.
No issue, right? No issues. So let's move on to one final question from Mahendra. uh, he is asking that, how to know that when we are in the rock bottom in the career. So how to realize that we are in the rock bottom in our career?
So for rock bottom, see, rock bottom definition for everyone is different. For some, for me, it was depression. For some other, if it is in a career also, if a person was earning in, I would say, in millions, but now he's earning in thousands, then the person, there might be a rock bottom for him. So the first thing is rock bottom definition is different for everyone. Uh, so if you are considering rock bottom for you, then in that case, first you need to analyze it. Like what you specify as rock bottom. What I am going to say that, okay, if a person doesn't, if a person, for anybody, it can be like this also, that a person has a debt, person has lost all the money, all the investments, and now he's in debt. That can be a rock bottom for a person in a career. But this is a very, I would say, personal question in terms of what does rock bottom stands for you.
Yeah, very true, very true. So hope, I'm sure Mahendra and Mr. Karisu, you got your answers. So yes, Ruchika, thank you so much once again. On audience, I'm appealing you. You can definitely check Ruchika's profile. I'm also adding her LinkedIn profile link in the chat box, and that will be there in our YouTube video as well. So you can connect with Ruchika. She'll be happy to help you. You can DM her, you can connect with her, you can follow her, and that's she'll be happy to help you. So once again, Ruchika, thank you for joining us today and sharing your experience, and I'm really thankful to you. God bless you. Stay blessed,
It's my pleasure,
and
Vipul. Thank you for giving this opportunity.
hope to see you again on another expert talk show with some different topic. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Sure.
Mahendra, for the appreciation. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Yes, so audience, this was our 108th Expert Talk show, and uh, just keep giving us your love. Keep tuning in every weekend. We'll be having different industry experts. So आप ऐसे ही जुड़े रहिए हमसे. Follow us on LinkedIn. Do subscribe our YouTube channel, Vipul the Wonderful. Press the bell icon to get our regular updates on both platforms. On and Audience, this session was powered by Post Resume. We are providing talent acquisition services across India and Africa. So do check our website if you want to get more help. Do connect with us, sir. Connect with us. We'll be happy to help you. So with that note, I'll be signing off for the day. Wishing you a great weekend. Stay blessed. Keep smiling.